Hi there everybody, Ollie here, aka Secret Nimbus here, another episode of Magic Duels. So for today's deck tech and gameplay, we are going to be going through a red, white and blue control deck. So this is the last deck tech before Eldritch Moon drops, after which we're going to be doing some videos to cover that. So I'll be doing a full unpacking, so opening up every single pack straight away, as I have more than enough gold for the entire release. We'll then also be going through the campaign. That will probably be 1 or 2 episodes, and then we'll also be brewing up some new decks. So Eldritch Moon is kind of heavily improving a lot of the tribal decks that we saw in Shadows over Innistrad. So for the first few weeks in particular, I'm probably going to be revisiting humans, spirits, zombies, vampires, and potentially werewolves, although it doesn't look like werewolves has got that much of a power spike compared to the rest of the tribes, so we'll see how it goes. But let's get cracking with the particular deck tech here. So to start off with, we've got the 1 red mana Fiery Impulse, where we can either do 2 damage or 3 if Spell Mastery is in play. The 2 Thing in the Ices, I don't think I've actually run a deck with Thing in the Ice yet, so I really wanted to include it, and you know, for the amount of instants and sorceries we've got in this deck, it's kind of a must include. It sucks up removal as well, which is quite nice, and yeah, it's just a really powerful card if you can get it to flip into Awoken Horror. 3 copies of Telling Time to help us kind of search for cards that we need either early game or late game. Declaration in Stone to deal with any big creatures that have already come into play, so we get to exile them, so things such as like Ulamog, Oblivion Cell, stuff like that we want to get rid of. Reflector Mage allows us to bounce back creatures, and also get ourselves a nice 2/3 body on the board. So for 1 white and 1 blue, we get this kind of really quite powerful creature. I've really wanted to play a deck with Reflector Mage, and again, not being able to fit it in until now, so it's kind of like this and Thing in the Ice are kind of my opportunity to do that. Fever Visions is back, so the 3 mana enchantment allows us to draw a card at the end of our turn, and also forces our opponent to draw a card and deal 2 damage when they have 4 or more cards in hand. We then got the 2 copies of Scatter to the Winds, so the 3 mana counter target spell, which for 6 mana also allows us to awaken a mana for 3. 3 copies of Broken Concentration, so another 3 mana counter spell. In this case, it is just a counter target spell. Can trigger it with Madness, but in this case, it's just a 3 mana counter. Got Radiant Flames, so 3 mana board sweep, so we can deal up to 3 damage across the board, which is quite nice. Exquisite Firecraft, so a 3 mana deal 4 damage and is uncounterable with Spell Mastery active. Suppression Bonds, this allows us to deal with planeswalkers and big creatures by enchanting target permanent which can't attack or block, and activated abilities can't be activated, and that last one is particularly important for planeswalkers. Inspiration, so 4 mana draw 2 cards, so it allows us to replenish our hand late game. Gideon, so 4 mana planeswalker, allows us to either put tokens into play or summon him as a 5/5 indestructible human, which is quite nice. So he's one of our finishers really, when we can start transforming him into his 5/5 creature form. Nahiri allows us to deal with enchantments and also bring the 1 big creature we have in the deck into play. Well, I suppose we can also bring in Reflector Mage as well, but really what we'll be looking to bring it in will be Linvala. Next we've got Jace, so another planeswalker, 5 mana double blue, allows us to draw extra cards, bounce creatures, and also get the emblem. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, their first spell each turn we counter it, which is awesome. Like I said, we've got Linvala, so a 6 mana 5/5 angel. This is kind of a late addition to the deck. I like to do this just because I felt as though I didn't really have enough late game threats, so Linvala kind of covered that. So she's potentially got the ability to give us some life to help us keep us in the game, and also summon a 2nd white angel if we need it. Finally, we've got Chandra, so 6 mana planeswalker, where we can either summon tokens, refill our hand, or sweep the board. In terms of the mana base, we've got 3 plains, 5 islands, 3 mountains, just because obviously we've got slightly more islands to the other 2 colours. 1 copy of Wandering Fumarole, 1 copy of Needle Spires, 2 copies of Prairie Stream, 1 copy of Clifftop Retreat, 2 copies of Sulfur Falls, 2 copies of Glacial Fortress, and 4 Revolving Wilds for that mana fixing. So that's the deck. Let's go play some games. Okay, here we are for game number 1. We're playing the rank 18, I think that was, like Goonhober? I don't know. But this is a quite a nice opening hand actually. So we've got the Telling Time on turn 2, Reflector Mage on turn 3, or a Broken Concentration if we need it. So yeah, we're playing the rank 18 Gwynhober, I'm going to say that is. So we shall start off with the Evolving Wilds. I think we're going... Ooh, do we pick up the second white or second red source? Huh, that's a toughie that is. I mean, we've got plenty of blue, we really don't need that. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for the double... we're going to go for double white, just because if we do find something like a Planar Cleansing... Did I gloss over Planar Cleansing? I must have done. It's in the deck. Oh, that's typical. You pop an Evolving Wilds, go for the white mana source, and what do you get? You get a white mana source on your next draw. Okay, so we're going to put the island in. Yeah, I've got Planar Cleansing in this deck. I must have just completely glossed over it, which is very silly of me. So sorry about that. You must have seen it in the deck tech, but for some reason I forgot to mention it. I think it's because I skipped straight over to Linvala. Okay, so he's played out a Goblin Glory Chaser, so we're just going to Telling Time. We're going to grab the Fevered Visions. We're also going to grab the Scatter to the Winds. So I'm thinking maybe just Reflector Mage here, and then think about getting Fevered Visions down next turn. Actually, I've changed my mind. I'm going to get Fevered Visions down this turn. I'm going to let that renown and then Reflector Mage it back afterwards. So just so we get this kind of this card draw mechanic getting down early. Okay, so we've got another white source, so I'm feeling really stupid for not getting that second red source now. It's just luck of the draw really, like, you know, if I'd chosen the red source I would have top decked a red source. It's just bloody typical. It's Sod's Law basically. Okay, so he's played out a Jury on Ruin Diver, not River, Ruin Diver. So 2/3 that allows him to draw draw an additional card when he plays 2 cards in a turn. So yeah, I think we're going to bounce back the Goblin Glory Chaser and then with Reflector Mage. So he will take 2 damage there. Okay, oh very nice, we've got a second Reflector Mage, so let's get you down. We're going to bounce back the Goblin. So we won't be able to play it out this turn. And we've got a blocker for the Jury. So we draw an additional card thanks to the Fevered Visions. Okay, that's quite nice. We do have Gideon as well, so we've got one of our threats, which is good. Okay, so he's going to Exquisite Firecraft our Reflector Mage, I'm guessing. Yes. So what's he going to do? Is he going to swing? I don't see why he wouldn't. I mean, it's not as though I'm playing like an aggressive deck. I'm thinking maybe just Reflector Mage again. Just bounce back Jury. And then he's going to take 2 damage. Unless he can... No, he can't regurgitate enough of his cards, I don't think, to not take the damage. So like I said, Fevered Visions is... I didn't say anything. Fevered Visions really is kind of death by 1,000 cuts. You know, it's got that sustained damage over time against your opponent. They do get the card advantage similar to me, but at the same time they do have the disadvantage of just taking that 2 damage every turn without fail. My god, like I really am gutted that I didn't take that second red mana now. But we should just drop a Plains, and I mean, we could drop Gideon, but I'm thinking Reflector Mage is probably the better choice here. We'll possibly try and get Gideon down next turn. How much mana will that leave us with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So close. We all, oh wow, we've got our 3rd Reflector Mage. That's quite nice. Thank you, Fevered Visions. So he's going to play out Goblin Glory Chaser. Nothing I'm too scared about on its own. Okay, and he's just going to Exquisite Firecraft us again. Okay, so that's 2 Exquisite Firecrafts down. I'm feeling pretty good about that. So I think this is probably the turn to get Gideon down. Oh wow, yeah, we've got Fiery Impulse as well, so we're going to drop a Glacial Fortress. I'm going to drop Gideon, and we don't want to use the Sulfur Falls, as we want to be able to Fiery Impulse that. So yeah, we'll just drop the ally. We'll hold this back. We don't necessarily need to play it right now. So yeah, we'll hold on to it for a second because we possibly want to Telling Time. So if he pings our Knight ally with a removal spell, we'll deploy the Fiery Impulse. If not, then we want to save that mana to Tell Time. That sounds so silly, but we want a Telling Time. Okay, so he's going to Talent the Telepath here. It's also going to mill us for Linvala. I should have Telling Time there, although that probably wouldn't have helped. We didn't have enough mana open to counter that either, unfortunately, so that's annoying. Did he have any instants? I suppose we've got Telling Time there that he can use. Yeah, so it's a shame about Linvala, but not the end of the world. Okay, so he's going to Fiery Impulse my... It's okay, so he's going to Telling Time and Fiery Impulse. So in that case, we're going to Fiery Impulse his Goblin. So yeah, that was disappointing. You know, it would have been nice if we had that additional mana open to potentially counter that. But I mean, all we've really lost is a Planar Outburst, a Linvala, a Thing in the Ice, a couple of Fiery Impulse, and a Telling Time. So not really the end of the world. At least we haven't lost like Chandra or something like that. Okay, and then he's just going to play out Jury. So I'm thinking maybe just Reflector Mage again, and then swing with Gideon. So he's down at 12 now, so this is going to ping him by another 5, which is good. Let's just make sure we've got enough mana open, so we're going to play you out. Good, that leaves us a Scatter to the Winds or a Broken Concentration. Probably going to go for Broken Concentration, so let's +5 you. Just because if I've got more mana later on, I might potentially want to awaken one of my lands. Oopsie daisy, so there we go. So he's going to swing for 5, take him down to 7. So playing the careful control game here is actually working. And then pinging for another 2, which is good. So that leaves him at... we'll leave him at 5 on his next turn because he's got way... I highly doubt he can regurgitate kind of like 1, 2, like 3 or 4 cards. So we're going to Broken Concentration you. And if he's got nothing else to play, that might just be a GG from him. He's got no other blockers for Gideon. Nope, he has another Whirler Rogue. Okay. So how are we going to deal with you then? So that's going to ping him down by 2. So he's down at 5. Oh, Declaration in Stone. Where have you been all my life? So we can just Declare in Stone you. Gets rid of the 2 Thopters, he doesn't get any of the card draw. So he's going to have to block Gideon with the Whirler Rogue here. So we'll push through an additional 2 points of damage. With the Reflector Mage. Takes him down to 3. So at this point we're only like 2 turns away maximum of just ending his life with the Fevered Visions. So yeah, getting that down as early as we did was a really, really good idea in the end. And we actually have... No, we don't... Yeah, we actually have 2 lots of counter we can play, which is interesting. Or we have a counter and a Telling Time. Either or. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's going to play Jury. Yeah, we'll counter you. And we'll see what else he plays. We've got another counter. That I don't care for. Anything else? Okay, so he's got Infectious Bloodlust, so we're just going to Scatter to the Winds you. And he's got another Infectious Bloodlust, okay. So at least that means that Gideon isn't actually dead. So that's basically GG from him because he's going to take 2 damage from the Fevered Visions because he still has 3 cards. He's going to have 4 cards in hand when he draws that 4th card. And we've got Reflector Mage and we've got Gideon. So this one has to attack. So even if he were to kill Gideon, we'd still have the 2 damage necessary with the Reflector Mage anyway. So that's basically GG. So yeah, he's gone for our face, but it doesn't really matter. So So we take 3 damage, and then we swing for lethal next turn. So yeah, this was a really good first game with the deck. I've been struggling with this deck, just like with my luck. And he's just decided to rage quit there. So he decided to disconnect and not take the loss there, I suppose. So we're just going to swing Reflector Mage. There we go. Yeah, so I've just had really bad luck with this deck, just kind of like being mana screwed and stuff, and it was just quite nice to almost have the perfect game. Let's move on to game number 2. Okay, time for game number 2. We're playing the rank 31 St. Johnny. So what we got to start off with? This is trash. This is pretty good actually. We've got one of each colour, so we've got Finger in the Eyes, Reflector Mage, and a Telling Time, so that's actually pretty good. Okay, so we've got Expedition Envoy. So we're going to take 2 damage for definite on turn 1. Nothing we can do about that unless we top deck a Fiery Impulse. No. Not the end of the world. So we've got double Thing in the Ice, which is pretty sweet. So we definitely want to get at least one of these down on turn 1. Okay, so he's got Handwear Militia Captain. So that's something that we want to deal with, potentially. I think we should be okay. We're playing white and blue humans, so we're going to see a Reflector Mage from him, I'd assume. Okay, so we'll play out the Mountain and a Thing in the Ice, because, you know, we can't really do much else apart from maybe like a Telling Time, but we'd rather Telling Time on top of a Thing in the Ice. See what he does. I'd almost assume Reflector Mage could be his turn 3 play here. Nope, he's got the Invocation of St. Traft, so what does that do again? Enchanted creature. Whenever this creature attacks, put a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. Wow, that's pretty terrifying. So we're going to block you. So we're going to take... Does it get exiled? Yeah, it does get exiled, so that's okay then. So we're definitely going to Reflector Mage you, I think. There's no questions asked about that. So we'll drop the Glacial Fortress, and then, yeah, we're just going to have to Reflector Mage this, I think. Because we can't have the Invocation of St. Traft pinging us in the face for 4 damage every turn. So yeah, that was a pretty crazy turn 3 play from him. This is a really nice card. I can't believe I missed this out when playing with my Spirits deck. So he has played Vryn Wingmare. So non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast. Okay, that's interesting. So what do we do here then? I mean, I could Telling Time on top of that, but I almost feel as though it's a little bit useless. So I'm just going to drop the Thing in the Ice down. Get a second one down. Hold you open as a blocker for the Expedition Envoy. That was a mental, like, turn 3 play. I can't believe we just took that massive 4 damage from the Angel token in the air there. Okay, so he's replaying out Handwear Militia Captain. Could really do with... So everything's going to get a token as well. Well, these two are going to get a token. I could really do with my board sweep now. So he's just going to swing with the 2-1. So we're going to take 2 damage in the air. Come on. What's it called? Radiant Flames. Radiant Flames? No. Okay, so what we need to do here is pray that Radiant Flames is on top. Oh god, that costs 1 more, doesn't it? Oh, we're screwed. Well, we still need Radiant Flames, to be fair. And we're not going to get it, so what do we grab? Inspiration and Exquisite Firecraft? Just skip attack for now. So this is going to flip. So yeah, I forgot that this was in play and that we couldn't, even if we had found a Radiant Flames, we wouldn't have been able to play it anyway. Oh wow, so this is pretty terrifying. I think the only thing that might save me now would be... Oh no, we can't even draw it next turn because all we've got is the... So you can swing with the 6/6 and the 2/1. So I'm going to throw my Reflector Mage under the boss. Or one of my Thing in the Ices. Now I'm going to throw you under the bus there and block you and block you. So yeah, Planar Cleansing would save us, but we know we're not drawing it next turn because all we're drawing is that Exquisite Firecraft instead. So I think this is probably... okay, yeah, we're just totally screwed at this point, I feel. Especially he's got a second Hammer Militia Captain as well, so even though we can deal with this one, we can't deal with the second one. Or the Tali's Lieutenant, which is going to get pumped up every turn, so... yeah, we've got 1-0 forward. He's going to be swinging for at least... take that out of the equation. We've got 2, 3, 5, 8. Yeah, we've lost. So unfortunately, that is GG. So I think we've got time for a third game. So I'll see you in a second. Okay, here we are for game number 3. We're playing the rank 19 Narsil, named after the sword from Lord of the Rings. No, we can't really keep that hand, whereas this one, yeah, we can definitely keep this one. So if I grab a white source from the Evolving Wilds, just hope we get a blue source at some point. No, I think we almost need to go for the blue source here now. Declaration in Stone would be nice, but yeah, do we get the white for Declaration in Stone? I think we do actually, because he's just played out the top of Free Blade, so I think we're going to need it. Looks like it. Fire Impulse? Nope, Reflector Mage is okay, so I'm glad I went for that white source now rather than the double blue. So, do I Declaration in Stone you? Yeah, let's do that. Early game Declaration in Stone. Why not? We're playing white weenies, but white and green humans, I'd assume, so he's going to be, you know, playing some fairly low-cost creatures, so I don't... Okay, we've got Snapping Gnarlid, so maybe not playing white and green humans. That works for me though, because we're just going to play out Reflector Mage here. Do we have the blue? Yes, we do. Excellent. Oh, we've even got a Planar Outburst as well, which is quite nice. So we're just going to bounce you back, and he's mana screwed as well, so that's really good. So if he's got no other turn 2 play apart from maybe the clue, that's going to put us in good stead if we can find a second blue source. We've at least got the inspiration to help us draw a couple more cards, which is also quite nice. Okay, so he has found a third mana, probably from the clue there, but that does give us a kind of a turn off, which is awesome. So we do have the Prairie stream here, so we can either counter something or we can inspire ourselves. I'll see what he plays. If he plays something that I find particularly threatening, I will Broken Concentrate it. If it's not that bad, I will probably just inspire. Okay, so he's got a 4th mana, so this could be a little bit more terrifying than I was expecting. So, okay, Snapping Gnarlid, not that bad really. I'll let that resolve. So we're just going to inspire ourselves in that case. We do have the Planar Outburst to kind of take down... Oh, very nice. We've got a second Declaration Stone as well. And a Nahiri, so getting better and better. Do I... So this gets +1/+1 until end of turn with landfall, so... I'm going to skip attacks, hold this open as a blocker, see what he does. And then maybe counter something. So he's going to landfall. We can't kill it, my bad. So we're probably just going to have to take the 3 damage here. Yeah, we'll skip blocking. We'll take the 3 damage. I mean, we're still at 17. It's not the end of the world. And then he's going to play out a Marassa Ranger. Yeah, I think we'll counter you. So, ooh, we have Suppression Bonds, which is quite nice. Now, do I go for Nahiri? It's tempting. Could also Declaration in Stone you. Can I do both? I can do Nahiri and Declaration in Stone, which I think is probably a good thing. do still have the Planar Outburst and a Suppression Bonds for dealing with anything that he may... I want to keep all of these, so I'm not going to toss away a card. Just +2ing Nahiri, because at this point we're just looking for Linvala. So if we can get her up to a 10 loyalty, we can then find Linvala, gain some life if we need to. What's he got then? Okay, he's got Green Warden and Marassa, so possibly should have held open the counter, although it can just Suppression Bonds you instead. So he's going to pull back the Marassa Ranger. Okay, so we've got the Sulfur Falls now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, yeah, so if we can leave open 2 blue, we can scatter to the winds that Marassa Ranger again. So let's make sure, yep, we're leaving open at least 2 blue there. So I'm just going to pop a Suppression Bonds on you. +2 Nahiri. Finish there. Swing with the Reflector Mage. Take him down to 14. So yeah, Linvala will get us a nice threat in the air, and we can swing with her the moment we -8 Nahiri as well. Okay, Zendikar's Royal is something that we definitely want to scatter to the winds. That would be pretty terrifying. So let's see. Okay, and he's just left the game. Okay, interesting. So I'll take that. Just a concession from him. So yeah, some good wins today. One annoying loss, but you know, 2 good wins as well. Okay, back up to rank 30, which is good. Okay, so that is the end of the episode for now. As always, guys, don't forget to comment and like if you've enjoyed the episode. If you're new to the channel, it's always nice to see you hit subscribe. But apart from that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.